You're very welcome to this professional management capstone written report presentation where I'm going to discuss my background and the process of a sale. The property in question here is 88 Toker Road. So a bit about my background. I started the auctioneering administration course in September 2018. As part of a course you had to do work experience. So I was very fortunate Lisney gave me the opportunity to do that every Friday. I then graduated from the administration course in December 2019. Once I graduated from this course, I started the auctioneering apprenticeship course in September 2019. As part of the course, you had to be sponsored by an auctioneering company, so I was very fortunate Lisney took me on as a sponsor. In Lisney, my mentor was Patricia Stokes, and Patricia is the divisional director of the residential department in Cork. A bit about Lisney. It's located on 1 South Mall. Here we have the structure of Lisney. So at the top you have your two directors, your 2 divisional directors, your property manager, your chartered surveyors, your residential negotiators, your commercial negotiator, and 2 in administration department. I fit into the residential department, and I also give a hand with property management sometimes. So here's the property in question. It's 88 Toker Road. It came to the market at 205,000. It's a 4-bed terraced property located in Toker. So in the property, the ground floor offers a living room, a kitchen, and a bedroom. The first floor then offers 3 bedrooms and a communal bathroom. There's also a big back garden to the rear of the property. Some other features about 88 Toker Road it has gas central heating, and all windows are PVC double glazed. So here's the process how we secure a sale in Lisney. So first of all, there'll be communication between the vendor and the agent. So what that means is an agent would go to a vendor's property and they'd walk through the property and they'd get a feel for what that they think that the property would go for on the market. We then go back to the office and make our comparables. How we make our comparables is we look on the property price register, what's been sold in Toker in this example for the last 2 years, and we also look at properties that are 4-bedroom terrace. We're able to gauge what price we think that property would be then. So once the comparables are made, it's included in the thinking and selling letter. So in the thinking and selling letter, you have it's a letter to the vendor, and in that letter you have the overview of the property, the comparables, the method of sale that we usually choose, which is private treaty usually, and you have the figure that we think that the property is going for. As well as that, you have the title, so whether the property is a freehold or leasehold. In this case, it's a freehold. And we have also our regulatory requirements included in the letter. So an example of a regulatory requirement that we need is under the Criminal Justice Act 1994, we need identification of the vendor. So 2 examples of identification that we need is photo ID, so that's a passport or a driving license, and 2 utility bills. So the PSRA and instruction letter are also issued by agents. So what the PSRA is an agreement issued by the PSRA, and that's issued by every property service provider to our client. So once the vendor signs both the PSRA and the instruction letter is basically the thinking and selling letter. The only difference is there's a signature part where the vendor will sign. Once they sign both of these, we're able to act on the property then and put it on the market. The next is opening the vendor's account in the office system. So the first money coming into that account, so to speak, would be the marketing costs. So once the money is into that account, we draw up our floor plans. So how we make our floor plans is we send them off to a company called Metropix. Metropix then come back with the finished product, as you'll see in the following slides. The brochure script is then drawn up, and that will be included in our brochure. When I say usually, all the time, we get a photographer to go out and photograph the property. Once we have these elements, we're able to create the brochure. So what happens with the brochure is once we have all these elements in place, we send it up to our media department in Dublin, and they create the brochure. The property is then able to go live. How it goes live is it goes through our data stream, and once it goes live, it will go on social media platform. It will go inside media platforms such as Daft, My Home, and Rightmove. So here is the marketing budget for 88 Toker Road. So in this case, we gave a budget of €650 plus VAT of 23%. It does vary per property, but this is the one for this one in particular. And as you can see, we have all the prices down below. So you have your professional photography, which is €150, your floor plan and brochure for €50, your first sale for €155, and then you have your internet, which is advertising it on lisney.com, My Home, Daft, Rightmove. That's €175, and then the last one is the Irish Examiner Property Supplement, which is a further €120. So here we have some photos of the property. We have the reception hall, the kitchen, living room, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, and the communal bathroom upstairs. As you can see, this property is in need of modernisation. These are the floor plans that I was talking about earlier. These are the finished floor plans that were created by Metropix. As you can see, you have your ground floor and your first floor. Here is the link to 88 Toker Road that I created. Feel free to click on the link and it will bring you straight through to the virtual tour. Now these are some of the challenges that I faced with the sale. So at the start, measuring the site of the property, I wasn't sure how to do this, so I had to ask one of my colleagues. So what happens is we go onto my plan and we were able to measure the site through that method. Getting the property live. Seeing as our receptionist Marie was out on maternity leave at the time, this was something that we usually didn't do. So I had to ask one of my colleagues to go through the process of this, and once my colleague went through this with me, I was able to get a better understanding of this. So the final challenge that I had was at the start of the sale. I was relatively new to the process of selling a property. So this gentleman rang me up one day and he said that he wasn't sure. He was coming from England and he wasn't sure, you know, how the final stages of the sale works once the offer has been accepted. So I was unsure. I said I had to go and ask my colleague and then get back to that gentleman. But once that happened, it made me more aware that I need to know about the process of the sale. So my colleague sat me down and I was able to understand it a lot better. Now, that concludes the end of this presentation. Thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to the questions and answers session on the 9th of March. Thank you.